What if I told you the real cause of your painful leg cramps isn't age, but a missing nutrient that 78% of seniors are unknowingly deficient in? If you've ever bolted awake at 3 a.m. with your calf locked in pain, or found yourself gripping the handrail tighter than you did 5 years ago just to climb the stairs, you're not alone. These moments chip away at your independence little by little. But here's the truth, it doesn't have to be this way. In this video, I'm going to show you the one vitamin that stops leg cramps in their tracks, plus 2 more that help rebuild your leg strength from the inside out. And no, this isn't about expensive pills or intense workouts. It's about smart, simple changes backed by real science. Changes you can start today. Before we begin, I'd love to hear from you. Where are you watching this video from? And what time of day is it for you? Let me know in the comments below. Even if it's just a quiet moment in your day, I truly appreciate you sharing it with me. And if this video helps you, don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss the tools your body's been waiting for. You might think your aching legs or sudden nighttime cramps are just part of getting older. But the truth is more surprising and far more hopeful. In communities across America, from small towns in Ohio to sunny neighborhoods in Arizona, millions of older adults wake up in the middle of the night, clutching their calf or thigh, frozen by pain. They try stretching, they try walking it off. Some even drink pickle juice or eat bananas before bed, but the cramps keep coming back. Now here's what most people don't realize. Your muscles aren't just bundles of strength. They're part of a delicate conversation between your brain, your nerves, and the minerals and vitamins flowing through your body. When everything works well, your muscles contract and relax like clockwork. You walk smoothly, rise from a chair easily, and rest at night without pain. But when your body lacks the nutrients it needs, especially 3 key ones, that entire system starts to misfire. Let's pause here for a moment, because this next part may explain why your legs feel weaker than they used to, even though you haven't changed much about your daily routine. One of the biggest culprits is vitamin D deficiency. In the United States, nearly half of adults over 65 are low in this vital nutrient. And that's not just a problem for your bones. Vitamin D helps your body absorb and regulate calcium. Without it, calcium doesn't reach your bones, or worse, it collects in the wrong places, like inside your muscle fibers. That's when cramps strike. The calcium builds up and locks your muscles into painful spasms. You're not just getting older, your body is asking for help. But vitamin D is only one piece of the puzzle. Another missing link for many seniors is vitamin B12. And here's where things get tricky. You might be eating all the right foods, eggs, meat, dairy, but your body still isn't absorbing enough. That's because as we age, our stomachs produce less acid, which makes it harder to extract B12 from food. And when your B12 levels drop, the insulation around your nerves, called the myelin sheath, starts to wear down. Think of it like frayed wires in an old lamp. Signals from your brain don't travel properly. Muscles get confused. They twitch, they cramp, they weaken. Finally, there's magnesium, a quiet hero that nearly 70% of American seniors are lacking. Magnesium's job is to help your muscles relax. Not tighten, not spasm, but relax. Without it, your muscles stay partially contracted, burning energy and triggering those sudden, stabbing cramps that wake you at 2 a.m. Now here's the bigger question. Why are seniors in America missing these nutrients in the first place? Well, it's not your fault. Many seniors eat less because of appetite changes, dental issues, or digestive problems. Some rely on processed foods that are low in real nutrition. And many medications, like statins for cholesterol or PPIs for acid reflux, actually block your body's ability to absorb these vitamins and minerals. So if your legs feel heavier, if your balance feels off, if those cramps come back night after night, know this: there's a reason. And more importantly, there's a solution. In the next section, we'll talk about the 3 essential nutrients that can help restore your strength, stop those painful cramps, and give you back the confidence to move freely again, right here in your own home, in your own shoes, on your own 2 feet. 3 vitamins to help recover leg muscles. 1. Magnesium. Somewhere in a quiet neighborhood in Pennsylvania, a 75-year-old woman named Eleanor used to dread the moment she turned off the lights. Each night, like clockwork, her sleep was shattered by sharp cramps in her calves, tight enough to make her cry out, stiff enough to keep her up for hours. She tried everything: drinking more water, cutting salt, even stretching before bed. But nothing stopped the pain. What she didn't know then, and what many seniors across America still don't realize, is that the problem wasn't in her legs, it was in her blood. Eleanor, like millions of Americans over 65, was severely deficient in one powerful mineral: magnesium. Now, magnesium isn't something we think about much. It doesn't get the spotlight like calcium or vitamin C, but without it, your muscles simply cannot relax. You see, every time you move, whether you're walking through the grocery store or simply sitting down, your muscles use calcium to contract, but they need magnesium to let go. Magnesium pushes calcium back out of the muscle cells, allowing your legs to relax, your body to rest, and your cramps to stop. Without enough magnesium, your muscles stay partially tense even while you sleep. That tension builds up quietly until, bam, a cramp strikes at 2 a.m., and the numbers are stunning. A study from the Journal of the American Geriatric Society found that seniors with low magnesium levels were 7.5 times more likely to suffer from frequent leg cramps. Now, why is this happening so often in the US? The answer lies in how we eat, how we age, and how our soil has changed. Modern American farming has stripped our soil of magnesium. The spinach your grandmother ate had far more magnesium than the spinach we eat today. On top of that, many common medications, like diuretics, acid blockers, and even some antibiotics, drain magnesium from your body. And as we age, our gut absorbs less and less of the magnesium we do eat. Eleanor's doctor recommended a simple change. She started taking 200 milligrams of magnesium glycinate twice a day, once in the morning and again with dinner. This form is gentle on the stomach and absorbs well, especially in older adults. By week 2, her cramps were less intense. By week 4, she was sleeping through the night. And by the end of 3 months, she told her daughter, "I feel like I've gotten my nights back." She also noticed something else. It was easier to stand up from her recliner. Her legs didn't feel like cement anymore. And that's not surprising. Magnesium isn't just for cramps. It helps your body produce ATP, the energy currency your muscles run on. It also supports protein synthesis, helping you rebuild muscle tissue lost to age. If you're wondering how to get more magnesium, start with food. 1 ounce of pumpkin seeds has about 150 milligrams. A cup of cooked spinach has nearly the same. Even a square of dark chocolate, at least 70% cacao, can help, with 60 milligrams per ounce. But for most seniors in America, food alone isn't enough. Supplementation becomes essential. Aim for 400 to 600 milligrams per day, split into 2 doses. And if you take calcium or iron, space them out by a few hours. These nutrients compete for absorption. Finally, remember this. Your muscles aren't failing you. They're just waiting for the right support. And sometimes, all it takes is giving your body back what it quietly lost. 1 mineral, 1 dose, 1 peaceful night at a time. 2. Vitamin B12. There's a quiet kind of weakness that creeps in over time. Not the kind you notice right away, but the kind that makes the stairs feel taller and your legs feel just a little less steady. It might show up as pins and needles in your feet, or a strange buzzing in your calves after a short walk through the grocery store. And for many older adults across America, especially those over 65, it's often brushed off as just aging. But there's something deeper happening beneath the surface, something that has to do with the way your nerves and muscles speak to each other. This is where vitamin B12 becomes absolutely essential. Think of it as the protective coating around the electrical wires inside your body. That coating is called myelin, and B12 keeps it healthy and intact. Without enough of it, the signals from your brain to your leg muscles get scrambled, delayed, or even lost. That's why a deficiency in B12 doesn't just cause weakness. It causes strange misfires, leg cramps, numbness, tremors, and sometimes even trouble with balance. And here's the startling part. According to research from Tufts University, over 40% of adults over 60 in the US have low B12 levels without even knowing it. One of the reasons? As we age, our stomachs make less acid, and that acid is what helps extract B12 from food. So even if you're eating well, eggs, dairy, meat, you might still not be absorbing enough. Now let's bring it home with a story that may sound familiar. Robert, a 68-year-old retired accountant from Milwaukee, loved taking evening walks with his wife, but slowly he began noticing his legs felt like jelly by 4 p.m. Then came the cramps, mostly in the evening, sharp enough to stop him mid-step. His blood test showed his B12 level was 200 picograms per milliliter, technically normal, but far below optimal for nerve health. He started taking 1,000 mcg of methylcobalamin, a highly absorbable form of B12, as a sublingual lozenge under the tongue. 4 weeks in, his jelly legs started to firm back up. By week 8, the cramps had dropped by 75%, and after 6 months, he was playing doubles tennis again, something he thought he'd left behind forever. What makes B12 unique is that it helps repair damaged nerve cells while also building new ones. That means the sooner you act, the more recovery is possible, even if symptoms have been building for years. The recommended range for seniors is 500 to 1,000 mcg daily, especially in methylcobalamin form, since it bypasses digestion. Foods like beef liver, clams, and salmon are rich in B12, but vegetarians or those on stomach acid blocking meds often need supplementation. And the good news? B12 is water-soluble, so your body flushes out what it doesn't need. It's one of the safest ways to protect your strength, your coordination, and your confidence. Because let's face it, aging in America comes with enough surprises. Losing the connection between your brain and your legs shouldn't be one of them. So if you've felt off balance lately, or your muscles just don't respond like they used to, it may not be your age. It may just be your nerves, waiting for the right signal. And sometimes, all it takes is giving them back their voice, with one small nutrient and a whole lot of relief. 3. Vitamin D. When you think of vitamin D, most people picture strong bones and sunny days. But for older adults in America, The story goes much deeper than that, especially in places like Minnesota, Michigan, or the cloudy corners of the Pacific Northwest, where sunlight is fleeting and winters feel endless. Vitamin D becomes more than a nice-to-have. It becomes essential. You see, vitamin D plays a powerful double role in your body. First, it helps absorb calcium from your food, so your bones and muscles can stay strong. But second, and often forgotten, it helps activate the very genes that tell your muscles to rebuild. Without enough of it, your body has the ingredients but no instructions. Here's where it gets tricky. As we age, our skin becomes less efficient at producing vitamin D from sunlight. A 70-year-old American generates 75% less vitamin D from the same amount of sun as a 20-year-old. That means even if you're getting out for a daily walk, especially in colder states, you still might not be making enough of this vital nutrient. When vitamin D is low, calcium starts building up in the wrong places, trapped inside your muscles instead of nourishing your bones. That trapped calcium causes tightness, soreness, and those deep, lingering aches in your thighs and calves. It's why some people wake up feeling like their legs just don't want to move, even after a full night's sleep. Let me share a story that might feel familiar. Margaret, a 72-year-old retired teacher from upstate New York, came into my office last winter with a simple complaint. She couldn't climb the stairs without holding the rail. She used to bound up 2 flights without thinking. Now, every step felt like a chore. Blood work showed her vitamin D level was just 18 nanograms per milliliter, far below optimal. We started her on 3,000 IU of vitamin D3 daily, taken with breakfast, alongside some olive oil for better absorption. Within 6 weeks, she was sleeping better and her morning stiffness started fading. By month 3, she told me something I'll never forget. I walked up the stairs yesterday without grabbing the rail, for the first time in over a year. That moment brought tears to her eyes, not because it was a miracle, but because she finally felt like herself again. For most older adults, the sweet spot is between 2,000 and 4,000 IU per day, preferably taken with a meal that includes healthy fat. Foods like salmon, egg yolks, and fortified milk help, but for many, they're not enough. If you live in northern states or spend most of your time indoors, you may need even more support. The best way to know is to get your vitamin D levels checked every 6 months. Aim for a range between 40 and 60 nanograms per milliliter, a safe and effective target backed by research. Remember, your muscles are smart. They're capable. They're waiting for the right signal. And sometimes that signal is as simple as a vitamin your body was quietly missing all along. Because in a country as vast and advanced as America, growing older shouldn't mean growing weaker. Sometimes it just means shining a little light on what's been missing and giving your strength a second chance. 5 light habits to help restore leg strength. 1. Eccentric loading. There's a simple movement we all do every day, often without thinking, sitting down in a chair. But what if I told you that slowing down that one movement could help rebuild the strength in your legs faster than any fancy gym machine? It's called eccentric loading, and it's one of the most powerful tools physical therapists use with older adults across America, from assisted living centers in Florida to senior wellness programs in Oregon. The idea is easy. Instead of dropping into your chair, you lower yourself slowly, counting to 5, as your thigh muscles work against gravity. This lowering phase activates more muscle fibers than standing up does, building strength without strain, sweat, or risk. In fact, A study from the University of Tokyo followed seniors who practiced eccentric sitting for just 10 minutes a day. After 12 weeks, their leg strength increased by over 50% without stepping into a gym. For people struggling with balance or feeling wobbly on stairs, this small habit can feel like turning back the clock. You don't need special shoes or equipment, just a sturdy chair, some patience, and the belief that your legs still remember how to be strong. Because in America, aging doesn't mean surrendering. It means getting smarter with every step you take. 2. Walk according to biological clock. Most people think walking is just walking, something you do when you can, wherever you are. But what if I told you that when you walk might matter just as much as how you walk? According to researchers at Harvard Medical School, our muscles, like our sleep, follow a daily rhythm, a biological clock known as the circadian rhythm. Between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m., your leg muscles become more responsive to activity, balance improves, and strength gains happen more efficiently. So instead of saving all your steps for one long afternoon walk, try breaking it into 3 short walks, about 10 minutes each, spread across that midday window. This strategy, often called exercise snacking, has been shown to improve leg strength by 38% more than a single long session. And the best part? It fits into real life. A loop around your block after breakfast, a few laps through your garden before lunch, and another stroll after checking the mail. In places like Colorado Springs or Charleston, seniors who walk with their body clock, not against it, report fewer cramps and better energy throughout the day. In a country as busy and stretched thin as America, this small shift costs nothing, yet pays back in confidence, strength, and independence. Let your body move when it's ready, and it just might surprise you. 3. Drink water on time. There's something most people don't realize about their muscles. They're not just made of strength and fiber. They're made mostly of water. In fact, nearly 79% of your muscle tissue is water, which means even slight dehydration can cause a noticeable drop in energy, flexibility, and control. Studies show that when older adults in the US are just mildly dehydrated, their muscle strength drops by as much as 30%. That's the difference between walking confidently into the grocery store or pausing to catch your breath by the shopping cart rack. But here's the good news. Timing your water intake can make a dramatic difference, especially if you're staying active. Drinking just 16 ounces of water about 30 minutes before walking or climbing stairs has been shown to improve leg performance by nearly 19%. It helps hydrate the muscle cells, smooth out nerve signals, and reduce the likelihood of mid-step cramps or post-walk soreness. In drier states like Nevada or Arizona, where dehydration is common year-round, this simple habit has helped seniors move with greater ease and fewer stumbles. And unlike medication or supplements, water is something your body already understands. It just needs a little more of it at the right time. So before your next walk, raise a glass and give your legs what they've been quietly asking for. 4. Walk barefoot 10 to 15 minutes a day. For most of our lives in America, we've been told to wear shoes for protection, comfort, and support, especially as we get older. But what if I told you that taking your shoes off just for a few minutes each day might actually strengthen your legs and improve your balance? You see, the soles of your feet are covered with thousands of tiny nerve endings. They send constant feedback to your brain about where you are and how you're standing. As we age, especially in places like Ohio or upstate New York, where winters are long and movement slows, that feedback can fade. Your body becomes less sure of its footing, your ankles get weaker, and your risk of falling goes up. But walking barefoot for just 10 to 15 minutes a day, on safe, varied and textures like carpet, grass, or even beach sand, can reactivate those nerves. It's a gentle workout for your feet and ankles, sending signals all the way up to your core to improve stability. Australian researchers found that seniors who practiced barefoot walking had 31% fewer falls and stronger ankle muscles within just a few months. In a country where over 36 million falls happen each year among older Americans, this tiny habit matters. Sometimes, reconnecting with the ground beneath you is the first step to standing taller, inside and out. 5. Alternate hot and cold baths before going to bed. In a quiet home outside Denver, Mary, a 70-year-old widow, used to dread bedtime, not because of loneliness, but because of leg cramps. They'd strike just as she was drifting off, sharp and sudden, stealing her rest and her peace of mind. But then her physical therapist suggested something simple and surprisingly powerful, alternating warm and cool water on her legs before bed. It's called temperature contrast therapy, and it's been used for decades by athletes and trainers to ease muscle pain and improve circulation. For older adults across America, especially those dealing with restless legs or night cramps, this 5-minute habit is a game changer. Here's how it works. You take your shower sprayer, or even 2 bowls of water, and alternate between 30 seconds of warm water and 10 seconds of cool. Do this cycle for about 5 minutes, letting the shifting temperatures gently coax your blood vessels open and closed. This rhythmic stimulation improves blood flow by up to 60%, delivering more oxygen and nutrients to your muscles while flushing out tension and lactic acid. In clinical studies, seniors who practiced this routine saw their nighttime cramp frequency drop by 77%. And best of all, it's calming, a signal to your body and brain that the day is done and healing can begin. In a fast-paced country like America, sometimes the most healing moments are the ones where you simply slow down and listen. You don't need expensive prescriptions or exhausting workouts to feel strong again. You don't need to chase the next big thing or follow the latest health trend on TV. Sometimes what your body truly needs is much simpler than we're led to believe. Just the right nutrients, a few intentional habits, and a little bit of consistency each day. Frank, a 71-year-old retired firefighter from Indiana, once told me he thought his active days were over. He couldn't climb the stairs without resting halfway. Yard work, his lifelong passion, had become too painful to enjoy. But things started changing when he began a simple routine: 3 vitamins and 5 daily habits. Nothing fancy, nothing extreme. Magnesium to relax his muscles, B12 to support his nerves, vitamin D to rebuild strength from the inside out. He added slow sits into his favorite chair, morning walks in 10-minute bursts, water before activity, 5 barefoot minutes in his backyard, and warm, cool rinses before bed. 12 weeks later, Frank wasn't just stronger. He was back out in his garden, trimming his rose bushes, smiling in the sun. He didn't feel young again. He felt capable again. And that's what we all want, isn't it? Not to turn back time, but to make today a little better than yesterday. So if your legs ache at night, or you're losing confidence on the stairs, know this: your body hasn't given up on you. It's just waiting for you to notice, to listen, to respond with kindness and care. Let this be your sign to begin. One nutrient, one step, one small act of healing at a time. Because in America, aging may be common, but losing your strength doesn't have to be. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's worked for you in dealing with leg cramps or muscle weakness? Have you tried anything that made a real difference in your life? Let us know in the comments below. We read every one. And if this message brought you comfort or clarity, please tap the like button and consider subscribing. Together, we can help more seniors across the US take back their strength, their freedom, and their peace of mind.